What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Right, so I wasn't actually going to make a video today, but I saw that GNOG was up 50% on the day, and I figured that I might as well make a video on it to follow up from the previous video that I'd made. Right, so GNOG is now up 50% on the day and 60% on the last 5 days, which is absolutely fantastic, right? So it's currently trading at $18. Now, some of you will know that I released a video a few months ago, so May 21st, and that's where I said that I felt like both GNOG and DraftKings were good companies, but I felt like GNOG was a better investment. I thought that over time you get a better return if you invested in GNOG as compared with DraftKings, and there are a number of reasons for that, and I sort of go into a bit of those in this video here. But you can see that as of the date of the video, the stock was trading at $12.44. And in that video, I had effectively come up with a 2025 price target for GNOG. So I said that in around 4 to 5 years, I think that the stock will be worth at least $23, and that's using very, very conservative numbers. And I said that actually in my bullish case, I think that it could be worth something closer to $42 by 2025, which would return us 28% on a compounded basis year over year, which is a very, very good investment. But now fast forward a couple of months and DraftKings clearly believe that it's a good investment as well. And they have decided now that they are going to be acquiring GNOG, which is very good for us because it means that the stock has jumped by 50%. But I figured today that we'll go through the details of the transaction and then what my next step will be. So we can see here from the DraftKings announcement the details of the transaction, and we can see here that it says that DraftKings today announced that they have entered into a definitive agreement for DraftKings to acquire Golden Nugget Online Gaming in an all-stock transaction that has an implied equity value of $1.56 billion. So I won't bore you with all of the details as to why they're making the transaction, but in short, they're expecting to achieve a great amount of synergies from that through combined company revenues, technology optimization, and marketing efficiencies. So they're making the transaction to generate shareholder wealth, which is what every company should be looking to do. Now, I felt like GNOG was undervalued, and I also thought it was a better investment than DraftKings, which is why 2.5 months ago I made this video. But in all honesty, I didn't expect one to acquire the other, and definitely not on this short amount of time scale. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet, right? And I'll talk about my plans going forward. But in terms of the details of the transaction, we can see here that Golden Nugget Online Gaming stockholders would receive a fixed ratio of 0.365 shares of the new company, right? So effectively 0.365 shares of the new DraftKings plus GNOG combined. Now you have to remember that the current price of DraftKings is far greater than the current price of GNOG, right? So DraftKings currently has a market capitalization of $21 billion, and GNOG's is $1.5 billion at the newest price. So basically the transaction is going to have a much less of an impact on DraftKings. As you can see here, it's only up 0.5% on the day compared with GNOG, which is obviously the much smaller company, which is up 50% of the day, right? So as GNOG shareholders, right, so we've got a couple of options. So the first one is to effectively just hold on to our shares, do nothing, and then wait for the transaction to close in the first quarter of 2022, and effectively hope that the DraftKings share price at least holds up, right? So it's currently trading at $51.70. So if we take $51.70 and we are going to be getting 0.365 shares for each share, effectively $18.87. So it doesn't exactly work exactly like this, right? Because it's going to be a new company, but just due to the size differences between the companies which are being acquired, $18.87. It's currently trading at $18.27. It's more or less the same, right? So you can either choose to sell now, but if you're bullish on DraftKings and you think that it could get somewhere to sort of $70 by the end of, or by the start of 2022, which is where it was just a few months ago, then it would make sense to probably hold on to these shares and wait to receive your shares in the new company. So you have to understand now that GNOG's price is going to be tethered to the price of DraftKings pretty much until this transaction is finished. So if you think that it can get back to $72 a share, which is what it was back in March, and effectively take 72, multiply that by 0.365, and then GNOG's shares will be somewhere around the $25 mark, more than likely. So $25, $26. So if you're bullish on DraftKings, then it might make sense just to hold on to your shares. But if you think that actually DraftKings might drop that back down to sort of $35, then you're only going to receive around $11 or $12 for your GNOG shares, in which case it probably makes sense just to close out your position. You don't want to be invested in the new company, and therefore close your position and look to reinvest your money elsewhere. Now, in terms of what I'm going to be doing, I haven't done enough due diligence on DraftKings. Of course, I had to do a certain amount of due diligence on DraftKings to make the video that I made, But this video was focused primarily on GNOG, and I've done enough due diligence on them to understand the business fully and understand the opportunity that exists there. Now for DraftKings, I'd have to do my due diligence sort of again at a deeper level, do a deep dive analysis, and then decide whether I think that DraftKings is going to be a good investment for me. So I'm probably not going to do anything in terms of selling my GNOG shares over the next week or so. And in that time, I'm going to sort of do some more due diligence on DraftKings. And if I feel like it's an investment that I want to be a part of, then I'll just hold on to my GNOG shares, whether sort of DraftKings appreciates or depreciates in price, if I'm sort of long-term bullish on the company. But if I do a bit of due diligence and decide that actually it's not an investment I want to be involved in, then I'll just sell my GNOG shares and move it on to the next one. In either case, a 50% gain in 2.5 months is not a bad run at all, so I definitely can't complain on that. But yeah, we'll be looking to what the next investment is. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to make this a very quick one, give you a quick update on the position, and I'll also keep you posted on what I'm going to be doing in terms of buying and selling my GNOG shares as well. So anyway, that is all for now. Until next time, thank you.